Tiger Woods' life is wild. And no, it's not because he's named after a wild animal. I mean, it's Kanye West crazy kind of wild. I mean, just look at his personal record. It has everything. You've got your swanky tournament jackets, endless cash to fuel that glitzy 1% lifestyle, and a whole lot of bogeys. That's how golfers talk, right? Right? Well, whatever the fuck they say, I'll be taking you noobs with me through all the twists and turns, so strap in. Okay, let's just wait a sec, cause I want to draw all my favorite animals from the zoo. Don't worry, it'll all make sense in a second. And that giraffe looks a bit high. Not tall high, more like Snoop Dogg high. Okay, I think we're good now. Yep, that's definitely all my faves. Tiger Woods. A name that sounds more like a place in a zoo than the name of a world-renowned golf legend. But like most legends... Whoa, okay, that was rude, Mr. Elephant. Calm down now. As I was saying, like most legends, they didn't come out of the womb already winning at life. In fact, Tiger doesn't even have that sweet-ass name in his birth certificate. His real name is Eldrick Taunt Woods, born on the 30th of December, 1975 in Cypress, California. What a completely normal name. I went to school with like 7 Eldricks growing up. Okay, fine, you got me. I completely made that up. My friends had super generic names like Sam and Jenny. But seriously, his name sounds like something you'd make up for a D&D character, and I kinda like it. Kudos on the weird baby name, Mr. and Mrs. Woods. Speaking of Earl and Catilda, Lil Eldrick also has to thank his parents for giving him one heck of a genetic cocktail called the Cablasian. Get your notebooks out, here's the recipe. You take 1/4 of Thai, mix 1/4 Chinese, add another 1/4 of Caucasian, drizzle 1/8 African American, and a dash of 1/8 Native American. Mix that all together, let it chill for 9 months, and voila! You get a kid that's destined for greatness. But we'll get to that in just a bit. I was thinking of thighs. I'm kinda hungry. Okay, so him being Cablasian is cool and all that, but I know what you're all thinking. Who names their kid Eldrick? And why'd they call him Tiger? It's not like he was born with stripes or a tail or anything. I don't think. Well, if you have to know, his mother Catilda gave him that name since it starts with a K and ends with an E. Get it? Like Earl and Catilda. Now for the good part, Tiger. This is actually interesting, so listen up. His father, Earl, gave him that name after his friend, the Colonel Fang Dang Fung, who goes by the name Colonel Tiger. I know I butchered his name. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. And I don't know about you, but Colonel Tiger sounds like a guy you would not want to mess with, especially if you can't pronounce his name right. So remember when I told you most legends don't come out of the womb already winning? I was actually lying, especially if we're talking about this kid. You see, Earl was a sportsman, and naturally he wanted his kid to be exposed to sports at a very young age, like really young, before the age of 2. Young. And believe it or not, Tiger was actually killing it on the golf course. Okay, I didn't mean it like Tiger actually killed someone out there. That would be fucked up for a toddler to do. Okay, back to Tiger, the child prodigy of golf. Imagine getting absolutely destroyed in a golf game by someone who doesn't know his ABCs yet. By the way, I didn't think I could walk until I was like 4, and this kid was already demolishing middle-aged golfers before he had bladder control. Let that soak in. If you think it was all fun and games for little Tiger, it actually wasn't. Since his father was in the military, Tiger got to play a lot at the Navy golf course next to the Joint Forces training base in Los Alamitos. That's the perks of having a military dad. By the way, that's him in gray. And I ran out of colored pens again. Who the fuck keeps using them? You could thank his daddy for giving Tiger the mental toughness that made him one of the best sportsmen in the world. Period. No question. But there was the downside. He had his very own drill sergeant watching his every swing. Not like regular parents don't already judge you enough. So I can only imagine how much tougher it would have been for a young Tiger. And get this, his father actually believed that Tiger was the chosen one, and Tiger would one day have the power to impact nations. This is a direct quote, not people, nations. Okay, so my drawing looks pretty dramatic, but trust me, Tiger and his dad were besties for life. But you gotta hand it to Tiger. The kid's got the it factor. He was already so good that he made his first TV appearance alongside his father Earl on The Mike Douglas Show. Let me remind you that he's still 2 years old at this point.
What the fuck?
That's still blowing my mind, to be honest. During the show, Tiger had a putting contest with iconic funny man Bob Hope. The legendary actor Jimmy Stewart was also a guest in that segment. I am willing to bet nobody had a clue that this little cutie would become a global sports titan the likes no one has ever seen before. This was Tiger on the Mike Douglas Show. Fun fact, he actually missed the hole the first time. From then on, Tiger Woods was a sensation. At the age of 5, he appeared on the cover of Golf Digest with the caption, "5-year-old Tiger, he's incredible." He was even featured on the show That's Incredible. I'm starting to notice a pattern here. By this point, he was already showing off his prodigious golfing skills, not just on the field, but to captivated audiences across the nation. In case you thought maybe I made up the whole story about Baby Tiger in Golf Digest, well, read 'em and weep. When he was 11 years old, Tiger Woods achieved a significant milestone, and it's not some elite golf tournament I'll never watch. No, Tiger finally defeated his father in a golf match. Alright, that may not sound like much, but there wasn't a snowball's chance in hell that Earl was gonna give his son the easy W.
Okay.
That wasn't his style. So earning that win must have been the sweetest victory for a young Tiger. Ever since then, Earl Woods would always lose to Tiger whenever they played against one another. The pupil had finally surpassed the master. Somewhat of a dramatic picture of Tiger and his dad, but you can see that killer instinct in Tiger even at a young age. From 1991 onwards, Tiger got real busy. He won a boatload of amateur championships, and he even made his first appearance on the cover of Golf Digest in November 1994. They actually ran a story about Tiger's ability to generate power from his hips and twisting torso. Well, little did Tiger know that his hips were gonna land him into a whole lot of trouble really soon.
I like you. I like sex. It's nice.
In 1996, Tiger was nowhere near done winning championships. He became the first golfer ever to win 3 consecutive US amateur titles. And after turning pro, Tiger was raking in even bigger cash prizes. In 11 tournaments worldwide, he won a total of $940,000 in prize money. In other words, Tiger made a business out of winning. He then made his PGA Tour debut in Milwaukee, and over the following months, he practically showed everyone that they didn't know jack shit about golf. This young upstart was so scary on the golf course that they awarded him with the PGA Tour Rookie of the Year award. Meanwhile, his opponents cried on their pillows at night, wondering why they'll never be as good as Tiger. Even Sports Illustrated had to recognize greatness when they saw it, which is why they gave Tiger the Sportsman of the Year award when he was still an amateur. Legend has it, if you print out Tiger's mag cover and tape it on your bathroom mirror at 3 a.m., you'll start hearing the cries of all the boomer golfers that lost to Tiger that year. At just the tender age of 21, Tiger was already a made man, and by 1997, he made sure everybody knew he was the man when he scored his first professional major championship victory at the Masters tournament. I don't really know anything about golf, but apparently, if you win this tournament, you get a bangin' green jacket.
Nice.
But for all his success, Tiger had a secret. He had severe myopia. Myopa wapa wapwa? Okay, According to Dr. Google, myopia is when you can only see objects clearly when they're up close, and Tiger's condition had progressed to the point where he had counting fingers vision. This means he can only tell how many fingers someone holds up if they're within a foot of his face. You know, like in boxing when a doctor has to come in to make sure someone can still see after being punched in the head by Mike Tyson so many times? Yeah, that's the one. Best believe Tiger was legally blind. Thankfully though, Tiger managed to bounce back for the foreseeable future, pun intended. In fact, in 1999, he achieved several remarkable accomplishments. He was even honored as the World Sportsman of the Year by the World Sports Academy, which is a real academy and not one made up by a 5-year-old. That basically means he's the GOAT of all athletes around the world. Wait, if that's the case, then human hybrids are real. I gotta tell my folks at Discord. Wait, you're still there. Fine, I'll do that later then. In 2000, Tiger achieved even more milestones in his career.
Oh my God!
He was named Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year.
Wow!
Plus, Golf Digest recognized his greatness by naming him the 12th best golfer of all time. If you'd just let me finish talking, I was gonna say that Tiger was setting new records in earnings too. In fact, he earned a staggering $9 million in a single year. And with that, he became the career money leader on the PGA Tour with $20.5 million. Just when you think Tiger couldn't get even higher at the top of the mountain, he just keeps getting higher and higher. So, keep watching, cause the fall is gonna be bonkers. This video is brought to you by
Building your business online?
nobody, cause we couldn't even give this ad time away for free, so instead, meet the creators of this channel. This is Cheeky, she's our writer. Don't be fooled though, she's a Discord freak. Next, we have Belle, the best cartoonist in the world. Aren't her drawings the cutest? And that's me, Rio, writer and voiceover extraordinaire, often mistaken as the
greatest AI voice of all time.
In 2005, Tiger didn't just make a comeback, he practically exploded back onto the scene. This guy went out there and won 6 PGA Tour events. And he even won at the granddaddy of them all, the Masters Tournament, again. So yeah, a bunch of stuff happened that was too boring to tell ya, but all you need to know was that everything in Tiger's life was in an upswing. Until it wasn't. In 2006, Earl Woods passed away from a heart attack in his home in Cypress, California. Like I said before, Tiger and his dad were the bestest of friends, and his death really hit Tiger hard, just like his SUV hit that tree.
What the fuck?
Which is why Tiger had to step back from the PGA Tour to grieve and reflect. Color me an empath, but I'm willing to bet Tiger was never the same after losing his dad. Case in point, when Tiger finally made it back to the US Open, it wasn't the triumphant return everybody was hoping for. In fact, he actually rode the struggle bus, and he ended up missing the cut, looking a bit rusty after his time away from the game. To put that into perspective, Tiger missing the cut back then was like Michael Jordan scoring less than 20 points in a playoff game.
Stop it. Get some help.
It just didn't seem possible. But just when everyone thought that they were witnessing the end of Tiger Woods, this golf icon proved them haters wrong. A year after his dad's passing, Tiger got really into video games. And no, he didn't move back to his mom's basement and played video games all day like Jared. He actually got together with the nerds at EA Sports and became the face of Tiger Woods' PGA Tour series. This is the actual cover for the game. Calm down, Tiger, we're just playing a game here. Now, I never got around to playing these games, but I sure do know that golf game at the bar. You know, the one with the trackpad and then you try to move that stupid ball around and then you pretend you know what you're doing. Yeah, I was the worst. Hey, you would suck too if you played that game shit-faced. Tiger's partnership with EA was so successful that EA raked in over $700 million in sales from those games alone. And Tiger himself wasn't just swinging virtual golf clubs, he was making some serious green too. During their time together, Tiger got around $6 million each year thanks to his association with EA Sports. And as you can see here, their local trucker was kind enough to deliver his millions. And from what I heard, Tiger gave him like $1 tip. What a jerk. Before we get ahead of ourselves, let's talk about Tigerade. No, it's not an STD. It's worse than that. You see, Gatorade made the announcement that Tiger was gonna have his own branded sports drink called Tigerade. While we don't really know the exact figures, word on the street was that the endorsement deal was worth more than $100 million over a 5-year period. What a completely rational amount for something called Tigerade. Nothing could go wrong, right? Wrong. What those noobs didn't see coming was that Tigerade didn't sell. I don't know. Maybe because it's called Tigerade? Tigerades. Get your Tigerades. You don't think Tigerade actually existed? Well, check this out. Now I'm just thinking of a board of execs playing Pin the Game on the Intern. Because it's always the poor intern's fault, right? Okay, so Tigerade sucked, but Tiger was about to face a bigger problem: injury. Yep, he had to go under the knife for some knee surgery, and that meant he had to take a 2-month break from the golf tour. When he did decide to make a comeback for the 2008 US Open, it was not pretty. But you know what? Tiger's got more tricks up his sleeve than a pedophile at the kid's birthday party. He started remembering that he was Tiger frickin' Woods, and he ended up winning a dramatic showdown against Rocco Mediate, leaving fans and haters alike to wonder, what knee surgery? It really happened, see? Maybe the drawing didn't capture how intense Tiger can be, but I mean, look at that stare he's doing. A few knee surgeries and LASIK procedures later, Tiger was back in the game like nothing ever happened. In fact, in 2009, Woods showed off his golfing wizardry with some seriously memorable wins. First, he conquered the Memorial Tournament. Then he went on to win the Buick Open. And here's where it gets interesting. These victories came with some hefty cash prizes. In fact, if you add up all his earnings from various tournaments that year, Tiger managed to add $10.5 million to his bank account. In December 2009, despite all the turmoil swirling around his romantic life, which we will get later to, Tiger still managed to rake in some major recognition for his incredible athletic prowess. He actually snagged the title of Athlete of the Decade from the Associated Press, meaning he was the superstar of superstars in the sports world throughout the 2000s. So, even in the dumpster fire that was his personal life, Tiger was still ruling the sports kingdom. Now let's take a breather and chat about something more fun, like romance. Tiger tied the knot with Elin Nordegren. Tiger actually met Elin when the former Swedish model worked as a nanny for one of Tiger's golfer friends. Together, they welcomed 2 adorable kiddos of their own, a daughter named Sam Alexis in 2007 and a son named Charlie Axel in 2009. Thank God Tiger didn't follow his parents' footsteps and name them something like Alligator or Deer or worse, X-Ash A12 like that poor Elon Musk kid. And yes, that's how you pronounce that weird-ass name according to Google. So, their names look good and so does their family. But you know how life throws curveballs? This is Tiger with his wife and kids. Don't they look so happy? Spoiler alert, this is gonna end really badly. Well, turns out, Tiger isn't a tiger, he's a cheetah. The tabloids were in a frenzy in November 2009 when the National Enquirer dropped a bombshell claiming that Tiger Woods was having a little extramarital rendezvous with Rachel Yucatel, a nightclub manager from New York City. At first, Yucatel denied the whole thing, probably hoping it'll all blow over. But here's where it gets spicy. The New York Times later reported that Yucatel had apparently signed a super secret non-disclosure agreement. You know, the kind that keeps people careful from spilling the beans. This NDA wasn't just about keeping her lips sealed. It reportedly came with a nice little financial cherry on top. Rumor has it she got a cool $5 million up front and the promise of $1 million each year for 3 years, all in exchange for her silence. And just to make sure she stays tight-lipped, the agreement even banned her from talking about the NDA itself. Obviously, his cheating scandal took a toll in his relationship. After 6 years of marriage, Tiger and Elin officially called it quits and got divorced in 2010. It's reported that the settlement cost Woods approximately $110 million. This is the actual Rachel Yucatel, one of Tiger's many mistresses, and she claimed that her legal battle with Woods ruined her life. Mom, if you're watching this is exactly why I prefer cats instead of boyfriends. They'll never cheat on me, plus they bathe every single day. So, I guess it's fair to say that the late 2000s were the worst years of Tiger's life. I mean, the entire world basically got a front row seat to the media circus that was the Tiger Woods scandal. And you know what? Everybody was living for the drama. If that wasn't enough, his professional life took a nosedive too. And sure, there might have been some health issues, but let's get real here. The stress of the world knowing you're a liar and a cheat didn't help. Now, the scandal and the divorce didn't just mess up his personal life, they messed up his endorsement deals too. Tiger had a growing list of sponsors that wanted to run away from him. Gillette, Gatorade, Accenture, AT&T, and even Golf Digest joined the mass exodus from Camp Tiger. His fuck-up cost them $34 million in endorsements. What an idiot. Not even 48 hours since the news of his alleged affair started making headlines, Tiger Woods found himself in quite a fender bender. That was more than a fender bender there, Tiger. Apparently, he was driving his fancy SUV near his Florida mansion when things went haywire. He somehow managed to collide with a fire hydrant, a tree, and a bunch of hedges around his home. I guess this is what they mean by you can take a tiger out of the wild, but you can never take the wild out of the tiger. As you can imagine, this wasn't your ordinary Sunday drive. Tiger ended up with some minor cuts that needed some medical attention. He also got slapped with a ticket for careless driving, which basically sums up this whole crazy situation. By the way, why do they call it fine when there's nothing fine about paying money? The one with the best answer in the comments wins a fine glass of champagne. Okay, you be nice, please. This is the actual photo of the car crash. Seriously though, this could have been easily avoided if one of those paparazzi just came out the bushes to help. Now, let's fast forward to 2017, the year Tiger hit another rough patch. This time, Tiger had a run-in with the Popo. Scratch that, more like the Popo found Tiger snoozing in his car. And it wasn't just any parking spot. No, he was right there in a traffic lane, engine running and everything. They popped him right then and there for driving under the influence. Tiger later came clean and said he had taken some prescription meds and didn't quite know how they got mixed and mingled. This was Tiger having his breathalyzer test after his DUI arrest. No fancy Nikes, no VIP treatment, no mercy for his bald spot. I mean, we've all been there, right? Mixing up our meds and then taking a well-deserved nap in the middle of the highway. Yeah, sure. Tiger ended up pleading guilty to reckless driving. He was put on probation, had to do community service, and to top it off, he had to pee in a cup regularly for drug testing. If he slipped up, it could have meant 90 days in the slammer. Yeah, don't think his pops in heaven said, "Way to go, Tiger," after this. By now you might be thinking, Tiger Woods is the worst scum to ever disgrace a golf course. And he might be. After all, he did cheat on his wife by acting like the whore of Babylon. And let's not forget how he assaulted that tree. he wasn't totally bad. In 2015, he had heard of a boy named Dylan who was going through problems of his own. Dylan was getting bullied at school for his stutter, and it got so bad that he even thought about ending it all. Word of Dylan's struggle reached Tiger, and he took the time to write a personal letter to the team. In the letter, Tiger painted a story of how he never quite fit in with the other kids, not just with his stutter, but with being a minority. In fact, it got so bad that he was even talking to his dog. But he worked hard despite the challenges, and he encouraged Dylan to do the same. This was Tiger's actual letter to Dylan. He may have had a speech impediment, but his words here are powerful. Color me a softie, but having a sports hero telling you he's your biggest fan is heartwarming as fuck. Shut up or I'm gonna use you as a tissue. But did you know that that's not the first time Tiger did something touching? Back in '96, Tiger and his dad Earl decided to do something pretty awesome. They set up the Tiger Woods Foundation, or as it's known now, the TGR Foundation. Their mission? To get kids in the city hooked on golf. But you know what's even cooler? Over time, their foundation evolved. It went from just being about golf to supporting all sorts of community programs to help kids who may not have it easy in life. They're all about making sure these kids get a fair shot at a great future. And here's the kicker. Tiger himself has shelled out over $12 million of his own money for the cause. Overall, it's estimated that he's given away a jaw-dropping $15 million or more to various charitable causes. So when Tiger's not on the green, he's in the community making a real difference. But let me tell ya, Tiger isn't just about sitting on the sidelines writing checks. He's right there in the thick of it, getting his hands dirty, making sure his foundation is doing its thing. Now, let's talk about Tiger's earnings. You might think that winning all those PGA Tour events would be the jackpot, right? Well, not exactly. In 2017, it came out that Tiger's winnings from the PGA Tour were just a tiny slice of the pie, like less than 10% tiny. At least I'm 4 feet, you're only 2 inches. From the summer of '96 to the end of 2017, Tiger raked in a whopping $110 million from the PGA Tour events alone. This means that he earned $5 million on average each year. And again, that's just 10% of his earnings. Imagine being that fucking rich. You could buy like 36 million McChickens with that money. Or you could buy McChickens for the entire population of Ukraine. I am going to get you for this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll please. As of 2022, Tiger Woods achieved something that's nothing short of legendary. He's the first golfer ever to join the Billionaires Club. Yes, you heard me right. $1 billion. That's not just a club you waltz into. Tiger's now in the exclusive Athlete Billionaires Club, along with the likes of LeBron and his receding hairline, and Jordan with his receded hairline. The richest of the rich in the sports world. And they achieved that title just by making balls fall through hoops. Can you imagine trying to explain this to a medieval peasant? Even I have a hard time processing all of this. Okay, that's it. Whoever is behind the post-it notes, you better fucking hope I don't find out where you live. Let's talk about Tiger's amazing trophy collection. This guy has won the PGA Player of the Year award not once, not twice, but a whopping 11 times. That's 11 more times than Jared got laid.
Oh my God!
Let's not forget the Masters tournament. He has 5 of those green jackets in his closet, which is, if you didn't know, is also where he hides his hose from his wife.
Genius.
So when it comes to golf, Tiger Woods is the undisputed champ. This right here was a huge moment in sports history. We have Tiger Woods winning the 2009 Masters tournament. And I gotta give him some credit though, this was the comeback story we all wanted. He'd really come a long way from that guy walking barefoot in the holding cell. Sure, he's won a ton of tournaments, but the real jackpot is in those endorsement deals. We're talking Gatorade, Monster Energy, Rolex, and the big kahuna of them all, Nike. Tiger's partnership with Nike, despite the scandal, would make Mr. Woods one of the wealthiest athletes of all time. Honestly, I cannot blame these companies for still having Tiger as the face of their brands. Wherever Tiger is, the moolah was sure to follow. Just goes to show, bad publicity is still publicity. Tiger isn't just about sinking putts, he's sinking some serious cash into his lifestyle. I mean, we're talking about a guy who's not afraid to splurge. He literally has 9 cars worth a jaw-dropping $1.9 million. He's also the proud owner of a $25 million yacht named Privacy. Rumor has it that's where Tiger sinks the balls into the holes, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, and have I mentioned he has his very own Gulfstream 550 private jet worth around $54 million? Jeez, that's the kind of jet-setting lifestyle most of us can only imagine. That's not all. Apparently, Tiger also invested $55 million in a custom-built 10-acre property in Jupiter, Florida. It's not just a house, it's a mansion with all the bells and whistles you could think of. This is Tiger's mansion. It looks like a Barbie dream house for a golfer. Oh, and he's also got this luxury watch that I'm sure costs more than my yearly rent. The point is, Tiger Woods knows how to spend his hard-earned cash, and he's not shy about enjoying the finer things in life. Well, it's not all sunshine and birdies in Tiger's financial scorecard. He faced some major financial boo-boos along the way too, along the lines of around $150 million. That's definitely not just a scratch you can fix with a band-aid or a tampon. The high-profile divorce from his ex-wife Elin resulted in a huge settlement of around $110 million. Wait, divorce settlements go that high? Color me a heartbreaker, cause I'll be signing those papers quicker than you can say.
I don't think so.
Also, the scandal left Woods' biggest sponsors asking for a breakup. He lost almost all of his sponsors, leaving him with only 2 major sugar daddies, EA Sports and Nike Golf. But don't worry, he's still got plenty of green to play with. Oh, and if you're wondering what our good old Tiger is up to with his own golfing career, things are looking not so good. Well, first off, he's gotten himself into trouble again, but not for drugs or anything serious. No, this one's quite bizarre. Apparently, last February, Woods slipped a tampon to Justin Thomas's hand. This actually reminds me of a song. It kinda goes,
Last February, I gave you my tampon, but the very next day, I got called a
blink and you'll miss it. Here's Tiger Woods slyly passing the tampon to Justin Thomas. And based on his reaction, I can tell that Tiger knows exactly what a tampon looks like. Unlike Jared, the Discord bot. Yeah, I'm calling you out, Jared. Anyway, back to Tiger and his classic boys will be boys stunt. Although it might just be schoolboy humor for some, others took offense and even called the prank sexist. I mean, that's the internet for you. Speaking of retiring, that's a wrap. If you made it this far, you get all the cookies. And you'll get more cookies if you get inside my white van. What? It's free cookies, you know. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe because our next video will be released shortly. It's all about Taylor Swift's famous exes, from Joe Jonas to Travis Kelce. Which one of these hunks were real-life Romeos and which ones were flaming hot red flags? Or maybe Taylor was the red flag all along. You'll have to watch the video to find out. Also, check out this video we already made on Taylor Swift. I cannot point to more videos because this is our second video. Anyway, it's called Taylor Wasted All Your Money. That's it for today, noobs. See you later. Bye.